Greetings. Before we proceed, it's a fun idea if you comment with your current location. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's make ourselves comfortable and begin. I stand by the entrance scanning the room. The office party is in full swing, the luxurious corporate event hall packed with high-powered executives and their spouses. The air is thick with laughter and the clinking of glasses. I feel out of place, a construction foreman among suits and silk dresses. Emily, my wife, mingles effortlessly, her laughter clear and bright. She's stunning tonight, her dress hugging her curves just right. We've been married 10 years. I still remember the day I first saw her, all confidence and ambition. I'm ruggedly handsome, loyal, deeply in love with her, but I feel the distance growing. Emily's been working late, often preoccupied and distant at home. Tonight she seems different, a bit too eager to please everyone. "Babe, I'm going to the washroom," she whispers in my ear, her breath warm against my skin. I nod, watching her walk away. But instead of heading to the restroom, she turns towards a more secluded area. Suspicion prickles at the back of my neck. I wait a few moments, then follow her, my heart pounding. I move quietly, sticking to the shadows. I see her enter a guest room and leave the door slightly ajar. I inch closer, my pulse quickening. What could she be doing? I peer through the crack and freeze. Emily is on her knees, her boss, Mr. Daniels, standing in front of her, pants down. My breath catches in my throat. "You know promotions come with a small price," Mr. Daniels says, his voice dripping with arrogance. My mind races, a mix of betrayal and rage boiling inside me. I feel sick, the scene in front of me like a punch to the gut. I can't just stand here. I burst into the room, my presence like a bomb going off. Emily's eyes widen in shock, her hands flying to cover herself. Mr. Daniels stumbles back, trying to pull up his pants. I don't think. I lunge at him, my fist connecting with his jaw. He crashes into the desk, blood trickling from a cut on his head. Emily screams, her voice a mix of fear and desperation. "Jack, stop!"
Please stop! But I can't hear her. My world has narrowed to the man who has just shattered my life. I grab him by the collar, ready to hit him again. But security bursts in, pulling me off him. They drag me out, my mind a storm of anger and confusion. Emily's cries fade into the background as they haul me to the police station. I'm thrown into a holding cell, the cold metal bars a harsh reality. My thoughts race. How could she do this? How could he? Betrayal, humiliation, the consequences of my actions swirl around me. My life will never be the same. I sit on the hard bench, my head in my hands. The future I imagined with Emily crumbles before me, replaced by uncertainty and pain. I know one thing for sure. Everything has changed. The police station is cold and unwelcoming. The holding cell's metal bench is uncomfortable. But it's not the discomfort that gnaws at me. It's the betrayal. The image of Emily on her knees, satisfying Mr. Daniels, is burned into my mind. I can't shake it. I keep replaying his words. "You know promotions come with a small price." And her compliance. How could she? Hours pass, and eventually, an officer comes to release me on bail. I step out into the night, the cool air biting at my skin. Emily is waiting for me by the car. Her eyes are red from crying, and she looks fragile, but I can't bring myself to comfort her. The drive home is silent, tension thick between us. I grip the steering wheel tightly, trying to control my anger. When we get home, I finally break the silence. "Why, Emily? Why would you do this to us?" She starts to cry again. "Jack, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to, but he pressured me. He said it was the only way I'd get promoted. I thought I could handle it, but I didn't think you'd find out like this." "Handle it? You thought you could handle prostituting yourself for a promotion?" My voice is loud, echoing through our empty house. She flinches, her sobs turning into wails. "I didn't know what else to do."
My career means everything to me, but I never wanted to hurt you. The betrayal stings deep, but so does the realization that she felt this was her only option. We need to figure out what to do next. This can't go unpunished. I agree, she says through her tears. Mr. Daniels has done this before? I know he has. There are rumors about other women. That night, I don't sleep. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the man who ruined my life. He can't get away with this. I decide to start investigating. If there are other women, I'll find them. I need proof. I contact a private investigator, Sarah, to help me. We meet at a small cafe, and I explain the situation. Mr. Daniels is a predator, I say, anger simmering just below the surface. I need you to find other women he's done this to. We need evidence to take him down. Sarah nods. I'll look into it. These kinds of men always leave a trail. Over the next few weeks, Sarah uncovers a lot. She finds several former employees willing to testify about Mr. Daniels' behavior. I meet with them, hearing their stories of coercion and threats. Each story fuels my rage. Emily's job is on the line, and she's under immense pressure from her superiors to drop any charges or complaints against Mr. Daniels. They're trying to protect him, but I won't let them. Our relationship becomes a war zone. I struggle to trust Emily, while she's drowning in guilt and fear. We have to stay strong, she says one night, but I can see the cracks forming. I want to trust her, but every time I look at her, I see her on her knees before that bastard. Then Mr. Daniels regains consciousness. He's back at work, using his influence to retaliate against me. He threatens to press charges for assault. I face potential jail time, and it feels like my world is crumbling. One night, I receive an anonymous tip about a hidden file in Mr. Daniels' office that could expose the truth. It's our last chance. Sarah, we have to break into his office, I say, desperation in my voice. It's risky, but we have no other option. She nods. We'll need a plan. We decide to act on a Friday night when the building is mostly empty. We sneak in, avoiding security cameras. My heart pounds in my chest as we make our way to Mr. Daniels' office. We find the hidden file, filled with damning evidence of his misconduct and a list of other victims. As we try to leave, security catches us. A tense standoff ensues. Don't move, a guard says, his flashlight blinding us. I hold my breath, clutching the file. Run, Sarah shouts, and I bolt, adrenaline pumping through my veins. I manage to escape, but Sarah isn't as lucky. She's captured, and I feel a pang of guilt leaving her behind. But I have the file. I have the proof. I go public with the evidence, causing a media frenzy. News outlets pick up the story, and the company is forced to address the allegations. An internal investigation is launched, and Mr. Daniels is put on administrative leave. Emily faces immense scrutiny at work. She's devastated but begins to support me fully, realizing the depth of her mistakes. As the investigation progresses, Mr. Daniels, feeling cornered, hires hitmen to silence us. I narrowly escape an assassination attempt, realizing the full extent of the danger we're in. I find Sarah, who has managed to escape her captors. Together, we prepare for a final confrontation with Mr. Daniels, determined to expose him fully and ensure justice is served. Jack, we need to be careful, Sarah warns. He's desperate. He'll do anything to protect himself. I know, I say, determination in my voice, but we can't let him get away with this. We have to finish this. We set up a meeting with a trusted journalist, ensuring the story goes public regardless of what happens. We confront Mr. Daniels, presenting the evidence and threatening to release it unless he confesses and steps down. A tense showdown occurs in his office. Mr. Daniels attempts to bribe and threaten us, but I remain resolute. You're done, Daniel, I say. You can't buy your way out of this. Realizing he has no way out, Mr. Daniels finally admits his wrongdoings. The confession is recorded and sent to the journalist. The story breaks, causing a massive scandal. Mr. Daniels is arrested, and the company faces severe backlash. Emily and I begin to rebuild our relationship, slowly mending the broken trust. She quits her job, deciding to start anew and focus on our marriage. We attend counseling sessions, learning to communicate better and work through our issues. The court trial is intense. I testify, detailing the entire ordeal. My testimony, combined with the evidence, ensures a solid case against Mr. Daniels. Other victims come forward, strengthening the case and leading to a major corporate overhaul. Mr. Daniels is sentenced to prison, and the company is forced to implement stricter policies to protect employees. Emily and I undergo a long healing process, but we come out stronger. She starts working with a nonprofit organization helping victims of workplace harassment. I find a new job, and we find a renewed sense of purpose and commitment to each other. Reflecting on the journey, I acknowledge the pain and growth we've experienced. Trust and communication become the foundation of our renewed relationship. We look forward to a future filled with hope and resilience, ready to start a family and face whatever comes our way. As we watch a sunset, holding hands, we embrace the new beginning, grateful for the strength to overcome the storm together. Released on bail, I return home to find Emily sitting on the couch, waiting. Her eyes are red and puffy. She looks up as I enter, her face a mixture of guilt and hope. The silence between us is thick, almost suffocating. "Jack, we need to talk," she says, her voice barely a whisper. "Talk? About what, Emily?" "About how you were coerced into sleeping with your boss?" I spit out, the words laced with anger and pain. She flinches, then nods. "Yes. I didn't want to, Jack. He made it clear that my promotion depended on it. I thought I could handle it, that it wouldn't affect us. I was wrong." I pace the room, my thoughts a whirlwind. "How could you think that? Did you ever think about what this would do to us?" "I know," she sobs. "I've been a fool. I was so focused on my career that I lost sight of what really matters. Please, Jack, I'm sorry." Her words hang in the air, but I'm too filled with rage and betrayal to offer forgiveness. "We'll deal with this, but I need time to think. I need to find out more about Daniels." I decide to dig into Mr. Daniels' past. If he's coerced Emily, he's probably done it to others. I contact Sarah, a private investigator. We meet in a small cafe, the aroma of coffee mingling with the scent of desperation and hope. "Sarah, I need your help. Mr. Daniels has to pay for what he's done. Can you find other women he's coerced?" Sarah nods, her eyes serious. "I'll look into it, Jack. Men like Daniels always leave a trail." The next few weeks are a blur of anger, sleepless nights, and strained conversations with Emily. Sarah uncovers a lot. Several former employees are willing to testify about Mr. Daniels' behavior. Each story she relays to me is another nail in his coffin. Emily's job is hanging by a thread. She's under immense pressure from her superiors to drop any charges or complaints against Daniels. "They're trying to protect him," she tells me one night, her voice breaking. "They want me to stay quiet." "And what do you want, Emily?" I ask, trying to gauge her commitment. "I want to fight," she says, her eyes fierce. "I want to make things right." But the strain on our relationship is evident. Trust is a fragile thing, and ours is shattered. I struggle to look at her without seeing that moment in the guest room. She's drowning in guilt and fear, and I'm drowning in anger and betrayal. One evening, Sarah calls with news. "Jack, Daniels is awake and back at work. He's using his influence to make your life difficult. He's threatening to press charges against you." "Of course he is," I mutter. "Bastard won't go down without a fight." Sarah's voice softens. "There's more. I got an anonymous tip about a hidden file in Daniel's office. It could be the key to bringing him down." "Then we have to get it," I say, determination hardening my resolve. "We'll break into his office and retrieve it." We plan the break-in for a Friday night when the building is mostly empty. My heart pounds as we sneak in, avoiding security cameras and guards. The office is dark, shadows casting eerie shapes on the walls. We find the file hidden in a locked drawer, filled with evidence of Daniel's misconduct and a list of other victims. "We've got it," Sarah says, her voice a mix of relief and urgency. "Let's get out of here." But as we try to leave, security catches us. "Stop right there!" a guard yells, flashlight beams cutting through the darkness. "Run!" Sarah shouts, pushing me forward. I sprint down the corridor, the file clutched tightly in my hands. I hear Sarah behind me, then the sounds of a struggle. I glance back to see her being captured, but I keep running. I can't stop. I have the evidence. The media frenzy that follows is chaotic. I go public with the file, causing a scandal that rocks the company. An internal investigation is launched, and Daniels is put on administrative leave. Emily faces immense scrutiny at work and is put on administrative leave as well. She's devastated, but she stands by me, realizing the depth of her mistakes. "I'm so sorry, Jack," she says one night. tears streaming down her face. I never wanted any of this. I just wanted to succeed. I know, Emily, but we have to face this together. We have to bring him down. Daniels, cornered and desperate, hires hitmen to silence us. One night, I narrowly escape an assassination attempt. The realization of the danger we're in hits hard. I find Sarah, who has managed to escape her captors. Together, we prepare for a final confrontation with Daniels. Jack, we need to be smart about this, Sarah warns. He's desperate and dangerous. I know, but we have the evidence. We can expose him and end this. We set up a meeting with a trusted journalist, ensuring the story goes public regardless of what happens. We confront Daniels, presenting the evidence and threatening to release it unless he confesses and steps down. The showdown in his office is intense. Daniels tries to bribe and threaten us, but I remain resolute. You're finished, Daniels. You can't buy your way out of this. Realizing he has no way out, Daniels finally admits his wrongdoings. The confession is recorded and sent to the journalist. The story breaks, causing a massive scandal. Daniels is arrested, and the company faces severe backlash. Emily and I begin to rebuild our relationship. The process is slow, but we're committed to mending the broken trust. She quits her job, deciding to start anew and focus on our marriage. We attend counseling sessions, learning to communicate better and work through our issues. The court trial is intense. I testify, detailing the entire ordeal. My testimony, combined with the evidence, ensures a solid case against Daniels. Other victims come forward, strengthening the case and leading to a major corporate overhaul. Daniels is sentenced to prison, and the company is forced to implement stricter policies to protect employees. Emily and I undergo a long healing process, but we come out stronger. She starts working with a nonprofit organization, helping victims of workplace harassment. I find a new job, and we find a renewed sense of purpose and commitment to each other. Reflecting on the journey, I acknowledge the pain and growth we've experienced. Trust and communication become the foundation of our renewed relationship. We look forward to a future filled with hope and resilience, ready to start a family and face whatever comes our way. As we watch a sunset, holding hands, we embrace the new beginning, grateful for the strength to overcome the storm together. Sarah and I stand outside Mr. Daniels' office building, hidden in the shadows. The tension in the air is palpable. We've planned this break-in meticulously, knowing this is our last chance to expose him. The darkness cloaks our movements as we bypass security cameras and sneak through a side entrance. We navigate the empty halls, our footsteps eerily silent. My heart pounds in my chest, every sound amplified in the quiet. Sarah's eyes are sharp, scanning for any signs of danger. We reach Daniel's office and quickly disable the alarm system. Sarah picks the lock, and we slip inside. The room is cold, sterile, with the faint scent of polished wood. I move to the desk, rifling through drawers, searching for the hidden file. My hands shake with anticipation. Then I find it, a folder stuffed with documents. I open it, my breath catching as I read. Evidence of Daniel's misconduct, a list of other victims, proof of his corruption. This is it. We've got it, I whisper, holding up the folder. Sarah nods, relief washing over her face. We move quickly, heading back the way we came. But as we reach the exit, we hear footsteps, security. "Stop right there," a guard yells, his flashlight slicing through the darkness. "Run," Sarah shouts, pushing me forward. I sprint down the corridor, clutching the file. The sound of Sarah's struggle echoes behind me, but I can't stop. I burst through the door, disappearing into the night with the evidence in hand. The next few days are a whirlwind. I go public with the evidence, causing a media frenzy. News outlets pick up the story, and the company is forced to address the allegations. An internal investigation is launched, and Daniels is put on administrative leave. Emily faces immense scrutiny at work and is also put on leave. She's devastated but stands by me, fully realizing the depth of her mistakes. "I'm so sorry, Jack," she says one night, tears streaming down her face. "I never wanted any of this. I just wanted to succeed. I know, Emily, but we have to face this together. We have to bring him down." Daniels, cornered and desperate, hires hitmen to silence us. One night, I narrowly escape an assassination attempt. The realization of the danger we're in hits hard. I find Sarah, who has managed to escape her captors. Together, we prepare for a final confrontation with Daniels. Jack, we need to be smart about this, Sarah warns. He's desperate and dangerous. I know, but we have the evidence. We can expose him and end this. We set up a meeting with a trusted journalist, ensuring the story goes public regardless of what happens. We confront Daniels, presenting the evidence and threatening to release it unless he confesses and steps down. The showdown in his office is intense. Daniels tries to bribe and threaten us, but I remain resolute. You're finished, Daniels. You can't buy your way out of this. Realizing he has no way out, Daniels finally admits his wrongdoings. The confession is recorded and sent to the journalist. The story breaks, causing a massive scandal. Daniels is arrested, and the company faces severe backlash. Emily and I begin to rebuild our relationship. The process is slow, but we're committed to mending the broken trust. She quits her job, deciding to start anew and focus on our marriage. We attend counseling sessions, learning to communicate better and work through our issues. The court trial is intense. I testify, detailing the entire ordeal. My testimony, combined with the evidence, ensures a solid case against Daniels. Other victims come forward, strengthening the case and leading to a major corporate overhaul. Daniels is sentenced to prison, and the company is forced to implement stricter policies to protect employees. Emily and I undergo a long healing process, but we come out stronger. She starts working with a nonprofit organization helping victims of workplace harassment. I find a new job, and we find a renewed sense of purpose and commitment to each other. Reflecting on the journey, I acknowledge the pain and growth we've experienced. Trust and communication become the foundation of our renewed relationship. We look forward to a future filled with hope and resilience, ready to start a family and face whatever comes our way. As we watch a sunset holding hands, we embrace the new beginning, grateful for the strength to overcome the storm together. We need to trap Mr. Daniels. It's the only way to end this nightmare once and for all. Sarah and I sit in my living room, surrounded by papers and evidence, the tension thick. Emily brings us coffee, her eyes filled with determination and guilt. "What's the plan?" Sarah asks, leaning forward. "We lure him out," I say. "We gather all the evidence we have and set up a meeting with a trusted journalist. Daniels will think he's meeting someone he can intimidate, but we'll be ready." Emily nods, placing a hand on my shoulder. "I'll help in any way I can." We spend hours finalizing the plan. Every detail matters. Sarah arranges the meeting with the journalist, a woman named Rachel who has a reputation for integrity and fearlessness. We choose a secluded location, a rundown warehouse on the outskirts of town, perfect for a confrontation away from prying eyes. The night of the meeting arrives. The air is cold and my nerves are on edge. Emily insists on coming along, despite my protests. "I need to see this through, Jack," she says firmly. We arrive at the warehouse early, setting up cameras and recording devices. Rachel is there, her face serious. "Are you sure about this?" she asks. "We have no other choice," I reply. As the time approaches, my heart pounds. We hear a car pull up, the sound echoing through the empty space. Daniel steps out, his face twisted with anger and fear. He walks towards us, trying to look confident but failing. "What the hell is this, Jack?" he spits out, his eyes darting around. "It's over, Daniels," I say, my voice steady. "We have everything we need to take you down." He laughs, a harsh, grating sound. "You think you can scare me? I'll bury you." I hold up the file, the damning evidence clear in the dim light. "This says otherwise, and it's all going to Rachel here if you don't confess and step down." Daniel's face changes, fear creeping into his eyes. He tries to bluster, offering bribes and threats, but we stand firm. "You're done, Daniels. You can't buy your way out of this." Realizing he has no way out, Daniels finally admits his wrongdoings. The confession is recorded, and Rachel nods, satisfied. "This will be front-page news," she says. The story breaks the next day, causing a massive scandal. Daniels is arrested, and the company faces severe backlash. Emily and I watch the news, a mix of relief and exhaustion washing over us. "It's finally over," she says, leaning into me. "Not yet," I reply. "We have a lot to rebuild." We begin the slow process of mending our relationship. Emily quits her job, deciding to start anew and focus on our marriage. We attend counseling sessions, learning to communicate better and work through our issues. It's not easy, but we're committed to each other. One day I get a call from Sarah. Jack, you need to come to court. Your testimony is crucial. I agree, knowing this is the final step. The court trial is intense. I testify, detailing the entire ordeal. My testimony, combined with the evidence, ensures a solid case against Daniels. Other victims come forward, strengthening the case and leading to a major corporate overhaul. Daniels is sentenced to prison, and the company is forced to implement stricter policies to protect employees. After the trial, Emily and I sit in our living room, the weight of everything we've been through hanging in the air. We did it, she says, tears in her eyes. Yeah, we did, I reply, pulling her into a hug. And now we can move forward. Emily starts working with a nonprofit organization helping victims of workplace harassment. She finds a renewed sense of purpose and commitment, and I support her every step of the way. I find a new job, something less stressful, allowing me to focus more on our relationship. Our journey has been painful and difficult, but it has also brought us closer. We've learned the importance of trust and communication. We've learned to lean on each other, to be vulnerable, and to rebuild from the ground up. One evening, as we watch the sunset from our backyard, Emily turns to me. Jack, I've been thinking, maybe we should start a family. Her words fill me with hope. I'd like that, I say, smiling. I think we're ready. As we hold hands, the sky painted with shades of orange and pink, I feel a sense of peace and anticipation for the future. We've come through the storm, and now we're ready to embrace whatever comes next, together. We've faced the worst and come out stronger. This journey has tested us, broken us, and rebuilt us. We've discovered the depths of our love and the resilience of our bond. And now as we look forward, I know we can face anything together. As we sit in the twilight, the world quiet around us, I squeeze Emily's hand. Here's to new beginnings, I say softly. To new beginnings, she echoes, her eyes bright with unshed tears. And with that, we step into our future, hand in hand, ready for whatever comes next. I step into the courtroom, the weight of everything we've been through pressing down on me. The room is hushed, filled with anticipation. I take a deep breath, my eyes scanning the faces of the jurors, reporters, and spectators. Emily sits in the front row, her gaze fixed on me, offering silent support. This is it, the final confrontation. As I take the stand, the prosecutor begins. Mr.
Jack Thompson, please state your account of the events. I clear my throat, my voice steady, but urgent. It all started at an office party for my wife's company. I followed my wife, Emily, and found her in a compromising position with her boss, Mr. Daniels. It was clear she was coerced. That night changed everything. The prosecutor nods, encouraging me to continue. I recount the incident in the guest room, my anger and betrayal, the assault, and the subsequent arrest. I describe the months of investigation, the break-in to retrieve the hidden file, and the near-miss assassination attempt. I detail every moment of fear, rage, and determination, painting a vivid picture for the court. Throughout my testimony, I see Mr. Daniels's face, his smugness replaced by fear and desperation. He knows he's cornered. The evidence we've gathered is irrefutable, and my testimony is the final nail in his coffin. When the prosecutor finishes questioning me, the defense attorney steps forward. Mr. Thompson, isn't it true that you assaulted Mr. Daniels in a fit of rage? I did, yes. But it was after witnessing my wife being exploited. I acted out of shock and anger. Isn't it possible that your judgment was clouded by your emotions? The attorney presses. I hold his gaze, unwavering. My emotions were high, but the evidence speaks for itself. Mr. Daniels is a predator who used his position to exploit women. The attorney tries to rattle me, but I remain composed. My truth is solid, unshakable. When my testimony ends, I step down, feeling a sense of relief. The truth is out there, and justice is within reach. Over the following days, other victims come forward, their testimonies echoing mine. Each story strengthens the case against Daniels, painting a clear picture of his predatory behavior. The company faces a major overhaul, implementing stricter policies to protect employees. Finally, the day of the verdict arrives. The courtroom is packed, tension palpable. The jury files in, their faces serious.
The foreman stands, clearing his throat. In the case of the People versus Mr. Daniels, we find the defendant guilty on all counts. A collective sigh of relief sweeps through the room. Daniels is sentenced to prison, and the company must face the consequences of their negligence. Justice is served. Emily and I leave the courthouse, the weight of the past months lifting off our shoulders. We've been through hell, but we've come out stronger. We start marriage counseling, working through our issues. The sessions are tough, forcing us to confront our fears and insecurities, but we're committed. One evening, after a particularly intense session, Emily and I sit on the porch, the sun setting in the distance. "I'm so proud of you, Jack," she says, her voice soft. "I couldn't have done it without you," I reply, squeezing her hand. "We're a team." We find a renewed sense of purpose. Emily begins working with a nonprofit organization helping victims of workplace harassment. She's passionate about it, channeling her experiences into advocacy and support. I find a new job, something that allows me to be home more, focusing on rebuilding our life together. Our relationship isn't perfect, but it's real. We've learned the importance of communication, trust, and forgiveness. We've faced our demons and come out the other side, stronger and more connected. As we settle into our new routines, we make time for each other. We have regular date nights, exploring new restaurants, taking long walks, and simply enjoying each other's company. We rediscover the love that brought us together in the first place, building a solid foundation for our future. One afternoon, as we're working in the garden, Emily turns to me, her eyes bright. "Jack, I've been thinking, maybe it's time to start a family." Her words fill me with hope and excitement. "I'd love that," I say, pulling her into a hug. "I think we're ready." We begin planning for the future, filled with dreams and aspirations. The pain of the past hasn't vanished, but it no longer defines us. We're ready to embrace new beginnings, to create a life filled with love, trust, and resilience. The months pass, and we continue to grow, both individually and as a couple. We support each other's goals, celebrate each other's successes, and provide strength in times of doubt. Our journey has been challenging, but it has also been profoundly rewarding. One evening, as we sit on the porch watching the sunset, Emily rests her head on my shoulder. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" "Yes, we have," I reply, kissing her forehead. "And we've got a long way to go." We watch the sky, the colors shifting from orange to pink to deep blue. It's a reminder of the beauty of change, the promise of a new day. We've faced the worst and come out stronger. Our love has been tested, but it has also been reaffirmed. As we hold hands, the future feels bright and full of possibilities. We're ready to face whatever comes our way, knowing that together we can overcome anything. The final confrontation with Daniels, the court trial, the long healing process, it's all behind us now. What lies ahead is a journey we're eager to embark on. With each other by our side, there's nothing we can't face. We've been through the storm and emerged into the light. And now, as we look towards the future, we do so with hope, love, and the unshakable belief that together we are unstoppable. I sit on the porch, the evening air cool against my skin. The sun sets slowly, casting a warm glow over our backyard. Emily sits beside me, her hand in mine. We've come a long way, and as I reflect on the journey, I'm filled with a mix of gratitude and amazement. "We did it," Emily says softly, her eyes on the horizon. "We got through it all." "Yeah, we did," I reply, squeezing her hand. "It wasn't easy, but we're stronger for it." The trial was grueling, but necessary. Standing in the courtroom, recounting every painful detail, was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Yet it was also cathartic. Testifying about Mr. Daniels' abuse of power, his manipulation, and his attempts to silence us was a way to reclaim our lives. The other victims who came forward gave me strength. Their courage bolstered my resolve. Together, our voices were undeniable. Daniel's conviction and the company's overhaul marked a significant victory, not just for us, but for everyone who suffered under his tyranny. Emily and I started marriage counseling shortly after the trial. The sessions were intense, often bringing up buried emotions and unresolved conflicts. But we committed to the process, determined to rebuild our trust. Slowly, we began to heal. Communication became our cornerstone, honesty our guiding principle. One day during a particularly difficult session, Emily broke down. "I'm so sorry, Jack," she sobbed. "I never wanted to hurt you. I just wanted to succeed, to make you proud." I held her, feeling the weight of her guilt and my own lingering pain. "I know, Emily, and I forgive you. We both made mistakes, but we're here now together. That's what matters." Our counselor guided us through exercises that forced us to confront our fears and insecurities. We learned to express our needs without judgment, to listen with empathy. It wasn't always smooth, but each step brought us closer. Emily found purpose in her new role at the nonprofit organization. Helping victims of workplace harassment gave her a sense of fulfillment and allowed her to channel her experiences into positive action. I supported her every step of the way, proud of her dedication and resilience. I started a new job, one that allowed me to balance work and life better. It wasn't as high-paying, but it gave me the peace of mind and the time to focus on what truly mattered, our relationship. As the months passed, we settled into a new rhythm. We made time for each other, rekindling the romance that brought us together in the first place. Date nights became a regular part of our routine. We explored new places, shared new experiences, and simply enjoyed each other's company. One evening, as we walked through a park, Emily turned to me with a smile. "Jack, I think we're ready." "Ready for what?" I asked, though I already knew the answer. "To start a family," she said, her eyes shining with hope. Her words filled me with a warmth that spread through my entire being. "I'd love that," I replied, pulling her close. "I think we're ready too." We began to dream about the future, imagining a home filled with laughter and love. The pain of the past hadn't vanished, but it no longer defined us. We were ready to embrace new beginnings, to create a life filled with joy and resilience. Reflecting on our journey, I realize how far we've come. We faced immense challenges, but we overcame them together. Trust and communication became the bedrock of our renewed relationship. We learned to lean on each other, to be vulnerable, and to rebuild from the ground up. Our story isn't just about survival. It's about growth and transformation. We took the broken pieces of our lives and crafted something stronger, more beautiful. We discovered the depths of our love and the resilience of our bond. As we sit on the porch watching the sunset, I feel a profound sense of peace. The sky is painted with shades of orange and pink, a reminder of the beauty of change, the promise of a new day. "We've been through so much," Emily says, her voice filled with wonder. "But we made it." "Yes, we did," I reply, kissing her forehead. "And now we have so much to look forward to." We hold hands, the future bright and full of possibilities. We're ready to face whatever comes our way, knowing that together we can overcome anything. The journey has been painful and difficult, but it has also been profoundly rewarding. We've learned the importance of trust, the power of communication, and the strength of forgiveness. We've discovered that love can endure even the darkest times and emerge stronger on the other side. As the sun dips below the horizon, I look at Emily, my heart swelling with love and pride. "Here's to new beginnings," I say softly. "To new beginnings," she echoes, her eyes bright with unshed tears. And with that, we step into our future, hand in hand, ready for whatever comes next. We've faced the worst and come out stronger. Our love has been tested, but it has also been reaffirmed. We've been through the storm and emerged into the light. And now, as we look towards the future, we do so with hope, love, and the unshakable belief that together we are unstoppable.